Hello, my name is Amy. If you're brand new to my channel, today I have a tag video for you guys. I was tagged by the lovely Caitlin Pulowski. Hello, babe. She's one of those YouTubers that I love watching, especially when I have just a little bit of time before going out or getting ready, because her videos are always on point, they're short. I also love her accent. She's Aussie, and you guys know that I love Australia. My best friend lives there and I was also engaged there. Anyway, she created this tag called luxury items that I regret not buying. And I know that they happen, we're all human, and I think in terms of luxury, there's definitely one thing, maybe two actually, that I regret the most, and it's more about seller's remorse. Even though that's not related to the video, I guess I'm just kind of on a tangent right now. I did end up selling the 17B unicorn gold, I guess it's kind of like a rose gold color mini in chevron caviar, and I mean, to this date I do regret it a little bit, not gonna lie. I say it's okay because I already did it, it's the past, I can't change anything, you know, I can't change the past. But I do regret it a little bit, you know. I try not to think about it, obviously. Like I said, even if there are things that we regret in life, it's no use to dwell in them. The never full. So I regret not buying it earlier. For whatever reason, when I started luxury, that was around 2008, 2009, everybody was either carrying a Speedy 30 or the Alma PM, and those were the it bag at the time. And of course, me being clueless about luxury stuff, I was not into it at all. But I started noticing it, and then of course I wanted to buy myself something without researching, didn't even know about YouTube, didn't watch it at the time. I just blindly went ahead and bought my Alma PM, and then next thing I know, I bought the Speedy 30, and those are the two bags. Well, the Speedy 30 I no longer have anyway, but those are the two bags that I used the least. And it took me so many years to realize that the Neverfull is what I needed. Had I bought the Neverfull at the time, it would have been in the $700, $800 range. Whereas by the time I bought this one in 2015, I think. So quite a few years later, it was almost double the price. I don't understand why at the time I didn't just went with the Neverfull, because I did try it and I do remember loving it. I was just too scared that it was too open. And the thing is, I realized that I really like open bags nowadays. It has never been an issue for me, even though it's open. I think it's because it stays close to the body. Definitely my number one regret is not buying a Neverfull earlier. And now I have two of them. My number two regret is for not getting into Chanel, the brand in general, Chanel luxury brand, Chanel bags earlier. So actually, I should backtrack a little bit. I actually bought my first Chanel bag in 2010. I bought a limited edition caviar reissue. It was a size 226 at the time. I didn't know all that at the time, but I'm just thinking back and I know that it is the case now. Caviar is typically not a leather that they use on the reissue, the Mademoiselle Lock handbag with the chains. I just remembered seeing the bag everywhere, like Chanel bags everywhere, and I just wanted one for some reason. Again, like I said, at the time I cared less about luxury. I didn't, you know, I didn't really care what it was. I just see it, I want it. One day I just decided to walk in and I bought myself a reissue. The caviar limited edition. The thing is, even though I was happy I did that, I also felt extremely guilty at the same time. So I almost immediately regretted it because it was so expensive. And when I say expensive, it's actually the price of a mini right now. Actually, it's less than the price of a mini, because right now the mini rectangle is $4,100 plus tax in Canada. So I remember it was under $4,000, and plus tax it was just over $4,000. After a few months, I couldn't overcome the guilt associated with that purchase. For whatever reason, at the time I was just not ready for luxury, I suppose. I was not making the right decisions. So I sold it. I sold it on eBay. I even made a loss. That's how little I knew at the time. And had I known all the things that I know now, I know I can probably make the money back, because it was a limited edition. It was very hard to find. The girl that actually bought it from me was from France. She said that it was sold out in their boutique. The reason why I'm saying that I kind of regret not getting back into Chanel earlier, That's what I meant. I think I was too stuck on brand loyalty. I was too into LV at the time, and we're talking 2015 because that's when I bought my boy bag. I think that's when I reintroduced myself to Chanel. I felt like I still wanted brand new experience, but I was not ready for the $7,000 or the $6,000 price range for a brand new classic flap. And the boy bag was kind of the closest thing to it. Of course it isn't, but that's what I thought at the time. Had I gotten back into Chanel a little bit earlier and just bought the classic flap earlier, I would have been able to buy it at the price that I felt comfortable with. So at the time, I think the boy bag was in the $5,000 range. Of course, now it's closer to $6,000 now. We're talking about the medium size. So I feel like had I just gotten back into Chanel just even a year or two earlier, then I would have been able to get my classic flap, you know, brand new from the store, getting the whole experience. Having said that, of course, we all know shoulda, coulda, woulda. I believe that there's always a reason for your own timeline or for your own things to happen. So I do believe that I was not ready to begin with, but I just still wish that maybe I did get into it a little bit earlier, because now Chanel prices have just skyrocketed. So my number 3 regret is I wished I had taken the plunge on a Dior bag earlier. 2017, I think that's the time when they came out with the Dior Ever, you know, the really cool logo bags, and I dipped my toes into the brand in terms of costume jewelry, which I still love. I'm actually kind of glad that I didn't get any of the bags that I thought I loved at the time, which I still love, of course. I think they're cool, but I suppose I don't necessarily need them in my collection. However, the only bag that I still feel like I should have bought earlier was the Lady Dior. I wasn't really looking into the Lady Dior at first, but throughout the year or maybe the next year, I started noticing the Lady Dior as well. And every time I passed by the store, I would try the Lady Dior. And every single time I love it, but every single time I sort of think, oh, maybe I'll buy it next time, because I always happen to have bought something. It's either like, and it's usually a larger purchase. It's either like a Fendi bag or like a Chanel bag. When I started looking at the Lady Dior, I think the mini size was $3,500 and now it's $4,000, I think. I mean, we're talking about Chanel prices at this point, because in the $4,000 range, I'm almost feeling like I should just buy a Chanel bag. I just feel like I can put up with any Chanel bag versus any other brand. I feel like that's the price range where I feel like it's almost not worth it. I don't know if you know what I mean. I just am brand loyal that way. I wish that I did get a Lady Dior a little bit earlier, maybe early 2018, when I started really trying it out every single time I went to the store, because at least at the time it would still be in a price range where I felt like it would be worth it, and also that I would still be able to get my full retail experience, because I love that. I love the full retail experience. Of course, I do buy pre-love here and there, but in the end, I still love the whole retail experience. So my 4th and last item that I'm going to talk about is another Chanel piece. I'm just gonna stick to handbags, because everything else, like, you know, costume jewelry and even ready to wear or anything like that, I'm not as hung up on those things. So, but for me, bags are definitely more my thing, and bags are something that when I do regret it, it just hurts. So anyway, the last item that I wanted to talk about is the Chanel Urban Spirit backpack. If you guys watch my vlogs, I actually tried it around the time when I bought my Chanel Gabrielle bag. I was hesitant because I had just bought the Gabrielle bag, and sometimes I just feel like, no, I should not do it because I just got something, I should be good. But that's the thing with Chanel, you cannot wait for Chanel. Chanel doesn't do the same things every season. They might not even come up with the same bag every season, and let alone the same material. Now that a year has passed, I'm ready for a backpack again. Well, I'm actually ready for a backpack, but I cannot find it in the calfskin in store, at least for right now, because for the current collection, the spring collection, all they have it is in the lambskin. I have nothing against lambskin, but I just feel like with the backpack, I do think that the structure of the hardness of the calfskin will help with the structure of the backpack. So that's just something that I prefer, I think. I don't know. I guess we'll see. I either wait, and I don't know how long I have to wait for the calfskin to be back. I mean, at the end of the day, these are all just materialistic items, not the end of the world, obviously, and this tag is just for fun. Thank you, Caitlin, for tagging me. I know that she tagged a lot of people because she is the creator of this tag. I'm also gonna tag a few of my favorite ladies here. So I have Kat L, Aimee Jo, Isabelle, heyyyjune, Mel Soldera, Mel in Melbourne, Jerusha, and Minx for All. So I'm gonna tag all of you. Hopefully you guys will do it as well, because I thought it was fun, and it takes a minute to think about those things. And I don't know, I just enjoyed it because it's kind of like story time. It's like talking about history, things that, you know, don't matter anymore, but it's kind of, you know, nice to talk about it. Thank you all so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you're brand new to my channel, I would love to have you back, so please do consider subscribing, liking, and dropping me a comment down below. Have a great week ahead of you, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Bye!